I love web design and how I got here. I actually didn't grow up dreaming about building websites at all. Honestly, I didn't even know that it was a thing and that's something that I could even do. I actually studied psychology before that in college, had a ton of debt, and graduated with a bachelor's, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I did always know that I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, which drained the life out of me. Even if it was a pretty good job, the team was pretty good, even if the job was interesting, it still felt like something was missing. It was always this loop of endless meetings, the pressure, pretending that I was fine, even if I wasn't. And I also always felt like there was so much room for improvement, but it was never my place to say or do anything about it. So it wasn't until about by now 5 years ago I had my first child, and that's when everything shifted. I really did know all of a sudden that I wanted to not only excel in a job, but I wanted way more freedom out of life. I wanted to be able to work where I wanted to work because I'm originally from Europe and I'm from Germany, and I don't get to see my family very often. And if all of a sudden a 9 to 5 with the limited vacation time that people in America get, once that started to hit on top of having a kid, I really was kind of in shock and realized this is really not for me. I noticed that I needed more autonomy over my time. I knew that I just could not be one of those cogs in the system that also had to worry about maybe getting fired or laid off at some point. Everyone was afraid to get laid off because of changes that happened. And it actually was at that time, I have to say, that I was one of the more long term people in the marketing department. And I was offered a $20,000 a year raise to stay and stick with the company throughout the sale and the transition. And I actually declined it. Okay, I'm not going to be part of this anymore. I didn't support the business the way they were running things. My team was by then pretty much completely gone. That's when I knew I'm going to go off and do my own thing now. I have a kid, I have a husband. I want more freedom. I want more out of life. And now I've gathered a couple of years of experience in the field, and now I feel confident to actually offer this to my clients myself and start to build something greater. I actually wound up studying for a good year in college, the whole like software engineering and web development and all that. I really taught myself a lot of that in a time frame where I was working at that company in the marketing department. I want to say I learned more since I've started my own business than I have at a job or in college. So it was really like late nights, during nap times of my when my kid was down for the naps, YouTube tutorials all the time. I wound up even subscribing to YouTube Premium just so I could get through these ads and not worry about those anymore, so I could streamline the process. Lots of trial and error, lots of mistakes I made in the process, but that was the first time when I launched a site for a small business completely on my own, start to finish, and it was a success. And that's when I was like, wow, I made a sale, I delivered, I exceeded expectations, and that's when I was basically hooked. I just couldn't not do it anymore. It was truly all of a sudden my passion. So, and this was not just design, it felt like it was really making a true impact in this business and their lives. And I was able to be part of that because I was able to give that other business owner the thing I never had at the beginning, which was a partner that actually cared about how websites work, how you can do a good job doing it. And that business I worked for was pretty much the opposite. It was all about revenue. They did care about delivering, but it was really just the team members that cared the most. For the bigger, higher up managers, it was really just the bottom line. And surprisingly, we were in the red all the time, which I could never understand just because things were so mismanaged. But ultimately, the project deliverable was what suffered the most. That is why I started Webtree Creative. I went through some different iterations of names. I didn't have a brand in the very beginning. It was all just like this new stuff that I had to develop over the years and learn and grow. Now I build websites that don't just sit there and look pretty, that's what I did in the beginning. But now I niche down and actually build websites that really convert, that grow your business truly and are a really hardworking sales tool in your toolkit of running a business, especially as a small business owner. Now I take about up to 4 new clients a month only, especially when it comes to the web design piece, because then I can give each of those projects my full attention. I do support and host my existing clients and websites on WordPress on an ongoing basis. That is my recurring revenue, which always keeps the lights on and keeps the business profitable. And now I pour literally everything I have into all of my projects. I can't even stress enough how much I really care about these businesses. We just built these long-term relationships and they stick with me. One of the coolest case studies I have and examples is the one business that I met at the very beginning when I just started building websites. He was part of that business that I worked for. Then the business got sold. Those clients and all of the hosting things all got sold to multiple business, shuffled back and forth. But ultimately, they wound up back here at Webtree. And so it just went full circle and it couldn't go any better. By now, these kinds of clients are long-term clients. There's a deep level of respect and trust between us. And this is what I've always wanted to build. I wanted to not just make the money like so many people are, but I also wanted to make an impact, give back, and make sure that these people feel like they're getting an absolute steal for what it is that they're paying. And it is direct access to me. It's my expertise, it's my recommendations, it's me being truly invested in the success of their businesses. And that is just so meaningful. I can't even ask for anything else. In a nutshell, I love what I do and I love helping other business owners feel proud of their own websites and web presence, but also make them really hardworking. And that's kind of the key, right? Well, you don't want to just be proud of something pretty. We want this to actually work for our business and bring in more money. And I love knowing that I built this on my own terms, right? I built it on my own time. I could work in the evening, I can work in the morning, I can work on the weekends if I want to. I can take a Friday or Monday off and go to the lake with my kids. This is truly what quality of life and freedom means to me. So if you're sitting here wondering if it is possible to build a business that you love, I'm living proof that it is. And I know you can do this too. It takes some hustle, it takes some tears, it takes excitement, it's a lot of ups and downs. It's not easy. Running a business is basically a whole slew of different things, right? But the website piece, if you've landed on this channel and you like and subscribe and you turn on the bell for notifications if I upload new videos, I am here to provide as much value as I possibly can to you for free, how to make your business website work as hard as it can possibly do. So basically what I do and implement for my clients, the knowledge I've gained, the expertise I now have, I am here to throw it all out there on YouTube in hopefully a semi-organized fashion because I'm brand new to this. I'm not a creator. I, up until a few days ago, didn't even know how to record a video on here. So it is, bear with me as far as the quality goes. I'm also currently not really scripting anything. It is just to finally get started and get this out there. I hope you gain a lot of value and I would love for you to comment, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram. The link is below in the description. You can DM me, follow me there. And yeah, I hope to see you next time.